What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf, and this is our first show of 2021. It's the Sentry Tournament of Champions PGA DFS pick show. Craig, how are you doing? Are you excited for a new year of golf?
I'm so excited. I can't believe, the off season was rough. It just took forever, it seemed like. I think it's going to be great. Start off with a good field here.
A great field, a cool course. Hopefully we have more tournaments. It's kind of a super season. I think we have 50 weeks covered of 52. Olympic Games, 4 majors, Ryder Cup,
St. Andrews, Torrey Pine. But first off, Kapalua.
First things first, we're at the Plantation Course, Kapalua Resort on the island of Maui. It's a long one, Craig. Par 73, 7,596 yards. It's been here for over 20 years, since 1999. Extensive renovations in 2019. I don't know if you know anything more about that. Mostly the green complexes, completely redone the green complexes.
Yeah, I've read a bit about it. What are the other things aside from the green complex? So in designing the course, one of the things they wanted to do is make it so you have to land short and bounce up to these greens. But essentially, because of how many rounds they played on these courses, they couldn't ever really do like full verticutting aeration of the fairways and the approaches and everything, the whole course. So it got really thatchy, and everything, instead of being hard and rolling, everything would be really sticky, and it's just not how they intended on the course playing. So they ripped everything out, put down a different Bermuda that's supposed to be a lot closer to the ground, and should be a little bit more
slicker.
Roll. Yeah, exactly.
A little bit more roll. All right. It's a different field than we've seen before. So it's the 2020 winners. Obviously, we had fewer of them, plus Tour Championship field. I think we're at 42 after a couple of drop out.
Minus Rory and Tyrrell Hatton.
Minus Rory Hatton, and I think Herman as well.
Yeah, I think Herman, was he COVID positive?
Oh, I'm not sure.
He had to pull out for, I think it might have been a positive COVID test, but That's too bad. If it is for that reason, he's the kind of guy that you'd love to see them throw him a bone next year, because it's not like Rory where he'll be in this most years. Jim Herman, this is kind of one that you'd like to see him get in.
A special one.
Yeah.
Previous winners, Craig. It's the kind of cream of the crop, the top of the players in the world. Justin Thomas. Wynn did pick up quite a bit last year. Year before, 2019, Xander Schauffele at 23 under and Dustin Johnson 24 under. From what I'm expecting with the weather, looking over to the side there, I think we're going to be more likely in the minus 20s. What do you think?
I thought you meant minus 20s temperature, and I'm like, I don't think so, man. I don't know what degrees you're using, but I think it's going to be pretty warm. It'll get into the teens, I think. The wind looks like it's going to lay down a bit compared to what it was last year when it was really, really blowing. So, the thing is, the forecast can change so quickly that
I was going to say,
we're Monday here, forecast for almost a week out. It could get super windy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're only going to do 2 picks. It's a limited field, no cut event. We're going to do 2 picks each. Craig, you want to start it off? Should we get into it?
Am I starting? No. I think you're starting her off.
Patrick Reed, 9,600 on DraftKings on FanDuel. He's 11,000, 7th and 6th respectively. He's playing really good golf right now. So since the 2020 BMW Championship, so from the Tour Championship on, what's he done? He's had 6 starts, 2 PGA, 2 majors, 2 Euro, all top 15 or better, 2 top 3 finishes, which are the 2 Euro, so the BMW PGA Championship and the World Tour Championship. His last
and those are strong fields.
Those are absolutely strong fields. Hatton won the BMW PGA, and then obviously we had the best of the best at Euro at the finale there just a few weeks ago. In those last 3 months, his stats in this field, he's first around the green at 0.8. Tee to green, he's 5th. Strokes gained tee to green, 1.75. And strokes gained total, he is 6th, 2.36. So green across the board. He's doing well putting. He's doing well tee to green approach. They're all good, but just his total package is great. It's elite. It's in the top 5, 6. So he's playing really, really good golf here. And it's a course he loves. He said this course fits his eye really well. He's played well here. He's won in 2015, runner-up in 2020 with those renovations, runner-up in 2016. So I really like, and this sounds a little bit crazy, but we're talking GPPs on DraftKings, starting at Patrick Reed and working down from there. I think a lot of people want to cram in DJ, want to get JT, want to get Rom, want to get those guys, and for obvious reasons. But starting at Patrick Reed, we only have 42 people in the field. You need to be different somewhere. If it's leaving salary on the board, whatever it is.
Leaving stars on the board.
Leaving stars on the board. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Patrick Reed and go down and try to create a unique lineup that way.
Yeah, the other thing, and I think maybe it's part of the reason he's had success here, one of the guys that I'll be talking about in a second, I was looking through stats on low ball hitters and people who have a lot of distance and a lot of roll, and Patrick Reed comes up. He likes to play that draw. He plays it low. He plays it along the ground. So in a course like this where it can get windy and you're really playing a lot of roll, I think that plays to his strengths.
Yeah, absolutely.
My first one here, you're leaving the stars on the board. I might leave some of them, but I'm going to have a hard time not plugging in Xander Schauffele to almost every lineup I put together. He's 5th DraftKings, 10,000. He's 5th in salary on FanDuel at 11.4. He's super hot in terms of his recent form. Last 14 starts, 13 top 25s, 6 top 10s, 4 top 5s. He's just, when you look through, you're like, oh yeah, he was in that tournament. Oh yeah, right. He was in that. Oh yeah, he almost won the CJ Cup. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then, I think sometimes I still forget how recently Xander has come onto the scene.
Yeah.
Because you look at his history at this course, 2018, 22nd. 2019 first, 2020. So he's had 3 years here. And besides his first year where he wasn't super competitive, he either won it or he lost in a playoff. So, has a good feel for the course. Another guy like Reed who draws the ball. I think he keeps it lower and he can absolutely pound it out there. And then last time I brought up Xander, it was actually before the CJ Cup where he came second. And I really was harping on the fact that he's a no-cut killer. He loves these no-cut events. This is over a couple years now, but I essentially just updated the stat from then.
It's crazy.
First or second, 7 of 18 of the last 18 no-cut tournaments he's played in. So it's just absolutely absurd how some of those do get smaller fields. You get the Tour Championship or you get this course. One, but even still, those smaller fields are usually stronger fields too.
Stronger fields and first or second. It's not like it's top 5 or top 10. What's that, like 38-40%? He's first or second. That's absolutely absurd. And actually, I like the fact that you gave his whole history here. The one thing I do find, maybe not so much with sleepers, not necessarily good course history, but I like to see that they have played here before. Just that they've walked kind of the course 4 rounds, practice rounds. When they show up this year, it's not going to be the first time. Well, and it's
tough for sleepers because this is one that you don't get to come to every year unless you've won. I mean, typically unless you've won the previous season.
Yeah. So staying with my Patrick Reed down, my second pick for the tournament, Harris English, 8,700 on DraftKings. He's 13th on FanDuel, 9,900, 14th. He ended 2020 on a great run, so his form coming in is tied for 6th, tied for 5th, and 1st. And the 1st has a huge asterisk there. It's the unofficial QBE shootout. It's not really a true event, but I mean, you still have to be playing some good golf to win it. You have to be putting well. You have to have some good irons. It's not like his form disappeared. Plus, with other people that we'll talk maybe in the sleepers video, I like to see that they have played good golf recently. It's not, 6 weeks since we've seen them. He's been playing recently in competitive environment, and he got first, even though it's an unofficial
It's just different from some of these guys we haven't seen for, since the Masters.
Yeah, exactly. Strokes gained total over the past 3 months, he ranks 9th. And our Grandstand Golf model on our website, he ranks 7th. So just looking at that compared to his 13th DraftKings price, I think it's a steal where he is right now at 8,700. And then one previous trip here to the course, 2014. Obviously, he's had a roller coaster of a career, but in 2014, when he is similar kind of in official World Golf ranking status, he placed 11th here. So I think he's a good kind of top 10 play with upside.
as we're going through making these slides, you plugged in Harris, and if you hadn't have, I would have brought him up. I think he's, there's so much volatility, I think, in a tournament like this, because you really need guys that are going to get up into the top 10, top 5. But I just think he's good value. Like I think the probability of him finishing in the top 10 is greater than what his price is. So
yeah,
and I don't think, sometimes in that situation, they'll clearly attract a lot of ownership. And I don't think he will. Like, I think he'll have decent ownership, but I don't think it's going to be overwhelming by any means.
Yeah. It's still early, so we'll see how the kind of week shakes out. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, my lower one for our higher price picks, I guess. Joaquin Niemann, 8,300 on DraftKings, so right around average there. That's 17th in pricing. FanDuel, he's 9,500, so he's a little bit or below average price there, even though he's 16th most expensive there.
Yeah.
But he's playing well. He's been top 30 in 7 of his last 8. Another one who, he is very young. He's 22 years old. Yeah. He has a single start here, tied for 5th. And he was the one who, Patrick Reed was coming up as I was looking through stats. One of the lowest ball flights in the field, if not the lowest ball flight, depending on whether I'm looking at 2021 stats or 2020 stats. And also, so I was looking at people with low ball flights, but then he also has I think there's only Daniel Berger. So I took the stats on total driving distance and then carry distance and how far they're actually rolling the ball. And I think for the full 2020 season, I think only Berger and maybe Scotty Scheffler had longer roll outs than Joaquin Niemann, which is just because he hits that low ball with the draw, and I think it's got topspin, and so he just seems to get a ton of roll. Yeah. So the other thing about that, it means he's used to playing that roll too, which if you're going to a course where all of a sudden it's going to be scooting along the fairway, if you never really have that, then it's going to be a little bit more disconcerting. And last one, just to tug on the heartstrings a bit, you love the motivation narratives.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I wasn't aware of this, but before Mayakoba, apparently, a cousin of his, a little baby cousin, is diagnosed with spinal muscle atrophy, I believe it is. But essentially, it's one of these things that essentially a genetic disorder that you're born with, and there is treatment for it. But the treatment costs $2.1 million. So he's got a ton of support from other tour players and from the tour. But he's been talking about how he's going to be putting money towards this. So
I think donating his entire winnings at least last tournament. I don't know
from Mayakoba, but it'd be awesome for him to have a major cash here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, regardless, that's a ton of money for someone who's a young tour player as well. It's not like it's Tiger Woods where I can take a little chink off my Nike contract and but yeah, so there's a GoFundMe, so maybe play him in DFS, and if he pays off for you, throw a few dollars his way, and
I like it.
Yeah, it'll go to a good cause.
Yeah, I like Niemann a lot. At 17th in price at 8,300, he's the volatile type of guy in a no-cut event where you wouldn't be surprised if he just popped off. But if he did kind of fade a little bit, you'd be okay with it as well. But he has that ceiling, that a really high ceiling.
So I absolutely compare, I think, Harris and Niemann. I think Niemann is way more volatile. There's $400 difference, and so I think Harris is sort of almost at the next tier up, but I think Niemann is much more volatile. I think the chances of him really falling down into the 20s or 30s is higher. But he can go low, so you never know.
Yeah. All right, so what do we have upcoming this week? We're going to change things around a little bit, but we'll let you know when things are coming out. The Grandies, a really fun podcast we did. It's our 2020 Golf Awards. That's out now. It's out in podcast form. It's also out on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. It is a long one, so I don't know. I'll break it up however you want to do it, or do it in one long sitting. Craig, it's like our deer hunter, man. It ran long, but it's fine.
It got away from us a bit, but it's good background listening.
Yeah, exactly. For the Tournament of Champions, we will have our DFS sleepers on YouTube very shortly. by Monday night, and then our live DFS show Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will tweet that out, so make sure to follow us on Twitter at Grandstand Golf. And then the model that we are referencing here, the link is below on our website.
Yep, we'll see you guys next time. Good luck this week, and check out the sleeper videos for people to pair with these ones.
Yeah, all right, see you guys.